Ocasio-Cortez, well, she's out there, the future, as DNC Chair Tom Perez once called her, of the Democrat Party. The socialist is the future of the Democrat Party. The chair of the Democrat Party said that. Well, she has said previously that the reason people keep talking about her is because they're afraid of her. I just think it's very good content. I think that if you're afraid of people, you don't necessarily talk about how they don't do math. We just like what she says. I think she can go out there and she should speak as much as she possibly can. I mean, I hope at the next DNC that she's the keynote speaker. So she spent a few minutes on a lefty podcast going full Neo from the Matrix in order to dodge the host's question on how she plans to pay for all of these entitlement programs. Remember, she's promised free housing and free health care and free education and a free living wage. She's been pushing this while out on the campaign trail. This is so uncomfortable and so worth it. Get your popcorn. Watch.
You know, we don't talk about what defense costs. We're about to hit $1 trillion in debt because of the corporate tax cuts. Yet, when we talk about pre-K, healthcare, college, suddenly it's unrealistic because of the cost. And it's not just bad faith Republicans that make that argument. You hear it from Democrats as well. What's your response to that?
Well, I think it's that same exact thing. It's that they say, how are you going to pay for it? As though they haven't used these same ways to pay for unlimited wars, to pay for $1 trillion tax cuts and tax cut extensions. They use these mechanisms to pay for these things all the time. They only want to know. It just seems like their pockets are only empty when we're talking about education and investing in human capital in the United States, education, healthcare, housing, and investing in the middle class. All of a sudden, there's nothing left. All of a sudden, the wealthiest nation in the world we're just totally scarce. And we have complete scarcity when it comes to the things that are most important. And so for me, I think it belies a lack of moral priority. And it's unfortunate. I think that, but I also think a lot of these folks, especially those, I think perhaps on the Democratic side, perhaps they don't even see it. I don't know.
Gosh, that was so awkward because she didn't actually explain how she would pay for anything. 3 quick points. What is the endless war thing? That sounds like a rejected, messed up kind of B-roll Olive Garden script. Endless war. Come have our breadsticks. An endless war. And then there's like a bunch of Vikings around a table at Olive Garden with breadsticks. That I found interesting. The second thing, the $1 trillion tax cuts and tax cut extensions. Do you realize, and people have done the math on this, do you know what it would cost her plans? Do you know what it would cost America to fully implement the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez Socialist Bernie Bros platform? $40 trillion with a T. You're looking at 2 to 3 times more income taxes. Yeah, to just like getting here to pay for it. $40 trillion. Because where in the hell do you think free housing and free all the stuff comes from? How are you going to have free housing? Who's building them? Who's buying it? How are you going to have free health care? What doctors are just going to perform everything for free? Free education? Who's going to pay the teachers? What about this is free? I don't think that she understands how any of this works. And by the way, tax cuts don't cost anything. That's your money that you keep. We pay the government, right? We pay them. It's not, tax cuts don't cost. You know what does cost? Free things that are not itemized in Article 1, Section 8. That's what costs cash money, right?